Hey guys, welcome back to the Aaron's Garage YouTube channel. Today we are going to be heading to my local junkyard. I kind of just want to go there to look around and bring you guys with me to see if we find anything interesting. But if we do end up finding a Miata on the off chance, you already know we're going to be taking parts off of that. But I highly doubt it. So we're on the way there right now, and I'll get back to you guys once we arrive. Okay, so I just made it to the yard. This yard is a lot bigger than any of the yards I've ever been to. Now, I've been here once before, but it was a few years ago, and I'm just kind of curious to see what they have. Unsure of what this thing is. I mean, it's completely rotted through. It's clearly been here for a long time. Look at that. Is that like a old can of motor oil from a long time ago holding this trunk up? No labels left on it, so I have no way of telling, unfortunately, though. This is just a normal hatchback Mazda 3, and these really stood out to me over time because of this color. Just the flake in that blue. I think it's just a real nice OEM color. You can see where the sun's hitting it. You kind of see the flake in it. Now, since I live in Ontario, a lot of these cars are just here just solely because they're rotted out. If the roads weren't salted in the winter, you would see a lot more older cars on the road to this day. This is something I don't see too often. Not that it's an extremely rare car, but looks like an Eclipse Spider convertible. Wasn't really the biggest fan of these cars. I think the front end looks a little goofy, but this guy's, holy, yeah, it looks like someone needed something out the bottom, maybe the subframe, and the whole motor is just sitting on the ground. Wonder how many kilometers this guy had on it. Oh, cluster's gone. It wasn't manual though. That's pretty cool. And this guy wasn't even bad shape at all. Everything still looks pretty clean under here. I'm surprised it's here. Suzuki. My family used to have one of these a long time ago. It was more of like an SUV. It wasn't a car like this. Kind of interesting to see these since they pretty much all rusted out now and you don't see very many on the road. This one looks a little sun faded. Doesn't look overly rusty or anything. Wonder what kind it is. Suzuki Ario? Interesting, never heard of it. This guy was definitely very toasty at one point. That's for sure. Not quite sure what it is. Look at that fuse block. All completely just melted plastic. I wonder what started the fire. Kind of want to say it might have been a Mustang, judging by how the quarters are flared and then just kind of cut out, which I think would be where the Mustang taillights would go. I'm starting to think I might be right. FOMOCO, Ford Motor Company. I really don't know what Chrysler was thinking on these. I mean, it's just my opinion, but I think these look terrible. Just the back end, the shape, the taillights. I don't know why people bought these. Another car I feel the same way about, and I feel like a lot more people feel the same way about, is this PT Cruiser. I mean, just like that Mazda 3, it's a cool color, but these were hideous. Pretty sure they were junk, known for blowing head gaskets and all sorts of stuff. Now, I haven't really seen anything too old here, which I mean was kind of expected, but I'm hoping to at least find a few old cars, maybe from the 90s, and hopefully a Miata, but you never know. If there's one here, it's probably been completely picked out already. That's typical. This looks like it's a junk pile of General Motors cars. Can't say I'm surprised. These Equinoxes and Terrains and Traverses with their, I think it's a 2.4 liter Ecotec. Always having timing chain issues. Oh, this one's on the ground completely. Yeah, that's why a lot of these Equinoxes end up here. Just crappy motors. This back corner's got a few older style GM trucks, but I couldn't help notice, not much into Euro cars, but I couldn't help notice this BMW back here, completely burnt to a crisp as well. I don't believe I have access to this side of the yard over the fence, but it would have been cool to take a look at this thing for sure. typical junk Land Rover as well. I mean, that one's burnt, but if it wasn't burnt, I was sure it'd be in here anyway because these things are money pits. This guy did catch my eye over here. Looks like an FJ Cruiser. Also in a cool color. Might have got smashed on this side, it appears. This is all crinkled up, same with the hood. I guess they really had to tell everyone that they had a Toyota. I'm always looking for a color to paint the Miata with, so coming to the junkyard and seeing some of the OEM colors, it's kind of nice because right now I don't really have any idea what color I want to paint it, but I'm very far from painting that car anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But someone actually cut like the frame rails here. Looks like they took like a hacksaw or something to it, so maybe theirs was rusted out and they needed a front section. I don't really know though. It's kind of cool how they paint match the door cards to the exterior color. I'm just looking at some of these older Mazdas over here. And what is this? Is this what I think it is? Yep. Looks like an NB Miata. So we did end up finding one in the yard. It's kind of just thrown in here with some of the other cars, but I did not expect to find one of these. I was hoping it would have been the first generation like mine, so I could steal some parts off of it. I mean, a lot of this stuff is interchangeable. This guy looks like, oh yeah, typical Miata, getting pretty rusty, starting to bubble up. It's actually not terrible, but it was starting to get there. Looks like someone added some aftermarket stripes. Oh, hood's not bolted on. Someone took the motor out of here. This is an NB, so it's probably the 1.8. And taking a look under here, oh yeah, the rockers are gone. This thing was definitely winter driven. It would be pretty hard to save this thing. A lot of the suspension parts do look the exact same as my NA, and I believe they are, but they're just as crusty, and I'm just gonna sandblast mine one day when I take them out, so I don't think I really need anything. But the one thing I did notice was, it looks like this guy has a possibly aftermarket exhaust. Mazdaspeed. So was this a Speed Miata, like a turbo one of the rare ones? I didn't think they made very many of those. Or it's possible someone just installed one of those mufflers onto this car. But if it was a factory turbo car, that's pretty cool. Okay. Just did some research, and apparently the turbo Mazdaspeed Miatas only came out in 04 and 05. The window sticker up here, this is a 01, so unfortunately it looks like it was not a Mazdaspeed. Now I am wondering if that exhaust is worth anything, so I'm gonna see how much the Junkyard wants for it and see what they go for online, because I might just pick it up just to sell. So this muffler looks like it's only held in by the exhaust hanger, so I'm gonna see if I can push it out. Judging by my research, I think I should be able to get maybe $200 for this used on Marketplace, as long as it's not crushed or anything like that. So I'm gonna pull it out to inspect it farther. There we go. Okay, so this guy looks like it's in pretty good condition. I don't see any holes or anything. Looks like they just chopped it here, which was expected, but anyone can, you know, make their own flange or whatnot. What's important is just the muffler, I believe. But I do see a part number on here, MBP S7. So let me run that and see if it's one of the factory turbo exhausts or just a factory upgrade. Yeah, so muffler any, $22.12. So you bet for that price I'm taking this with me. No way in heck I'm lugging this thing around the whole time, so I'm just gonna lean it up against this Mazda. Coming back to some of the VWs over here. Looks like we got a few Beetles, not very interesting. And then we got this thing, this Golf. Kid up in this bitch. Fucking mint. All right, interesting choice of stickers. This looks like a TDI, I believe, the diesel. Had a cold air intake on it. Oh yeah, even had the pink mirror caps. Drilled and slotted rotors. Was it a stick? No, automatic. Great looking headliner too. The thing is with these older Hondas is these things will basically run forever. The only way they end up in here is either, you know, they're completely rusted out, or they get in one small fender bender and they're basically worth nothing at that point, so they get ridden off. This guy looks like it had some work done fairly recent before I came here. Looks like at least a new lower control arm and maybe a subframe, judging by how clean it is. Little CRV. Whew. Completely rotted. You guys think it has a table? Probably not. I think they were stored under here. Yeah, just a lot of water, no table though. If I did get one of these older CRVs though, I would want it to be a stick shift one, and it would be pretty cool, but anyone you find around here probably is already all rotted out. So I'm kind of just taking you guys along with me to the junkyard, so hopefully this video turns out to be entertaining. Looks like we got an Impreza. Definitely not an STI. No way. Yeah, wouldn't be in here. This guy is mostly clean inside. Oh, it was a stick shift. Looks like it has a intercooler on it, so it is a turbo motor, that's for sure, but I thought the regular Imprezas were non-turbo, but could be wrong. I never really got a close-up at these boxer motors either, but kind of cool to see how they're built and have the sideway, you know, timing chains and, you know, horizontal build. I don't know how I missed this when I first came in, but looks like they have some kind of Porsche. I don't know if it's like a Boxster or something. Let's see. Yeah, a Boxster. This thing is pretty stripped down, although it does have some good parts on it, like the doors and the quarter panels, but yeah, I wonder why this is here. Doesn't even look like it's been wrecked or anything. Just sad to see cars sit here like this. I think I'm gonna head out of here now. I think I've pretty much found all the, you know, cool stuff. So I'm gonna go grab that exhaust that we left up by that blue car and let's get out of here. So if you guys remember a few videos ago, I tried to install a aftermarket shift boot and it didn't turn out well as it wasn't the right one and I kind of cut it incorrectly. So I'm on my way home now, but I think before we end the video, let's change that out real quick. Is definitely about to blow up. It smells like oil. Look at it. Oh man. And that's why I buy Japanese cars. So before we start working on that shift boot, I realized I do need gas and I have to stop by the store to get a stapler that will go through that thick plastic on the tabs there. So let's do that real quick first. Okay, so I've gone through the staple guns here. I think I'm gonna pick this one up here with a few staples. Hopefully these will be powerful enough to go through the hard plastic. It's time to change the shift boot out. This is the new one I got. As you can see, unlike the last video, it has the little fingers on the bottom that I have to staple in. So hopefully it should fit this time. We got the bezel out again, so let me pull out this old boot. Okay, so now that I got the shift bezel off, I'm gonna take these buttons off on each side and then this chrome, or I guess silver trim piece around there too. Okay, off comes that chrome piece. So now I can start feeding the new boot through. As you can see, it has these little tabs on each side of it, and those have to go through the bezel and then staple to each of these plastic tabs that surround the bezel. Okay, so I got the new boot fed through. It's looking good, so I'm gonna start stapling these tabs now. I'm really hoping that this is powerful enough to staple through that plastic. I mean, it should be. It's not really that thick, but I guess we'll find out. All stapled in. It's looking 10,000 times better than before. Okay, so I've got the boot collar slipped in there. Last time the issue I had was I would put a zip tie around this from the inside to hold it in, and eventually that zip tie, I think the head where it sticks out a little bit would rub against the inside of the boot and start to tear holes in it. So I don't really have any other ideas besides zip tying it, but this time I'm gonna put a piece of tape around the zip tie, so hopefully it doesn't cause any friction and tear the boot open. You see the zip tie that's holding on the collar, That's what I was talking about, the little cut edge. I feel like that's what was ripping through the boot over time. So I'm going to wrap this whole zip tie in tape, and hopefully it doesn't happen again. Last couple steps, let's put the trim back in. And the final touch, which is the shift knob. So we got the new boot in. It looks great. Ideally, the boot should have been a little bit shorter. That way it doesn't kind of, leave this pocket in here where dirt and stuff collects. But I think it looks 10 times better. I'm super happy with it, so we're going to leave it at that. So that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching, and have a good rest of your day.